Alrighty, welcome back to Sweet and Sour Podcast with your host, Bruhaha. This week, I wanted to start it off with a story a friend of mine told me. She works in the customer service aspect of a primary care office, like for doctor office. And she told me this story, and I found it kind of funny, but then I've like simmer on it. And honestly, it's a little rough. That even in something as crazy as the medical field, like racism occurs. And it's not even towards the patient, it's towards the doctor. So, this is a story my friend told me. Alrighty, let's start. So, she told me she takes like customer information and whatever. And this is what she told me. This doctor's office, I don't know the specialty, I don't know anything about that, calls them up, calls her doctor's office up. And the doctor's like, hey, I want to leave a complaint about this patient. They look up the patient, and and my friend's like, okay, so what's the complaint? So she writes it down and sends it to the right person. And the woman, the doctor, says, I never want this patient referred to me ever again. She is extremely racist. The second she walked in and she saw my staff speaking with another client in Spanish, she told them that this is America to speak English. Then he started being rude to the staff about the fact that they were Hispanic, and the doctor literally was like, I am not seeing this woman. She was screaming racist slangs at my staff and saying all these like rude things. My friend didn't really go into detail exactly what she said because I don't think the doctor said anything specific to her. And the doctor was like, I refused to see her. I told her to get herself out of my office. Like the doctor told the patient that, because she's also Hispanic and she didn't want to deal with it. And to be honest, I respect that doctor. I respect that staff. Like, honestly. Now, the reason I wanted to talk to you about this story is because based on what you guys heard on one of my old podcasts, you'll probably figure out by now that I am Hispanic as well. I come from a Hispanic country. I speak Spanish as my first language. Like, you could have figured that one out already. And to me, it kind of sucks. I don't look like, I'm going to say like the typical Hispanic person. I don't have the tan skin, the dark wavy / curly hair. Like, I don't. I look very white. I look white to the point that people tell me, you're too white to be Hispanic and too white to be American. Like, I literally got that told to my face. I don't even know what that means because every nationality has this range of skin tones. But that's besides the point. And I don't see it like as frequently with me because of that. And as you guys can tell, I don't have or when I do get an accent, you guys can tell, but I don't have a really like strong Spanish accent, like a typical joking manner, like a Sofia Vergara, if I'm being honest. I don't. And by not having that accent, a lot of the times, I guess I could say I get lucky because no one really tells me anything. No one believes I'm Hispanic. No one anything. Like it's crazy. Like I have a friend that she does not speak a word of Spanish. I love her to death. She's one of my best friends, but she doesn't speak Spanish. We once went to a Cuban restaurant and we wanted to get some like pastelitos and juice and stuff or something like super like a to-go meal. And I go up to the cashier and I'm like, and the cashier's like, hi, welcome to, I don't even remember the name of the restaurant if I'm being honest. Welcome to generic Cuban restaurant. How can I help you today? And I ordered like my beef pastelito and my juice and the guava pasta, like whatever. I ordered my food. I paid for my thing and then my friend went to order and they literally went like, bienvenidos a restaurante cubano genérico. ¿Cómo le puedo ayudar? And my friend turns to me with like the scariest look in her face and she's like, help me. And I laughed and I said to the cashier, no habla español. She doesn't speak Spanish. And then cashier looks at me like, oh, you do? Like, I don't know how to explain that. Like, he was shocked that I knew a different language. I don't know how to explain that. I didn't take it too seriously because if I were to take seriously every weird comment, every weird look I get, every time I say I'm Hispanic, every time I get told you don't look Hispanic, I would be a billionaire by now. So I don't take it to like I don't take it personally. I know I don't look like the typical Hispanic and my best friend does. One of my best friends does. But like it's a little frustrating. Like that you guys know that at least at the time of this recording, the US has no official language. Like at all. That should say something. The US, the state that I live in, the one I'm talking about, the racism, has no official language. So all these people being like, speak English, you're in America, are wrong. Yeah, English is the universally used language, at least in the US, because like Britain was the one that freaking conquered like history, guys. Like literally, that's why we speak English. If Spain would have been it, we would be all be speaking Spanish. If Germany would have been it, we would be just speaking German. But the point is, there's no official language in the U.S. That should say something. So in the case of the story about the client in the doctor's office, like, the fact that she said that if I was a doctor, I would have kicked her out too. That's disrespectful to her staff, and to all the other patients there. Like, I wouldn't want my doctor, like, if I was a patient going to her and I see that entire scene and I see her still take it and I'm Hispanic, I wouldn't feel 100% comfortable because now I'm like, is she okay with treating that? Like, that girl is weird. And honestly, it's crazy. I worked in customer service too, and I'm gonna be honest. I've had enough of customers to last me a lifetime. I try to be like a super sweet customer when I'm there because people suck. Not all of them, but some of them really suck. And this friend of mine that works at the doctor's office, like, she has some stories that, oh my gosh. Sometimes I can't believe that. Like, I can't believe them. I can't believe it. Is that crazy? Like, she recently told me a few days ago that she works in a neurologist's office, by the way. I'm not going to say the doctor's name or anything because I'm not going to put her on blast like that, but she works with a neurologist's office. And they recently acquired a new neurologist in their practice. The new neurologist switch practices, establishments, offices, whatever you want to call it. And I'm bringing it up because it's important to this story. So, I heard her telling me, like, one time, this patient calls and she's like, I used to be this neurologist's old doctor when she was at her old practice. And my friend's like, hey, ma'am, you're new to our practice, blah, 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 blah. Turns out the woman was trying to change her appointment to a virtual appointment, and apparently in her office, the first, like, new patient, like, for the first time you see the doctor, especially with a neurologist, you have to be in person. And honestly, I get it. If I have to see a specialist, I would rather see them in person, like, to see and talk to me, like, what's going on. And the woman was like, no, how could you do this? This is not patient care, blah, 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 blah. And all these things. And I'm just, like, hearing my friend's story, and I'm like, what did she do? And my friend's like, I would try to get the office manager on the line because she's the one that can approve those changes to a virtual appointment. And when I called her, she didn't answer. So I went on the line and I went to tell this customer, I'm my friend right now, okay? And I went to tell this customer, I'm sorry, ma'am. What did she say? What were the words she used? Oh, that the office manager is not available at the moment. Do you want me to send? And she apparently, my friend tells me, I was going to say she wanted me to send her an email to ask. And the woman hung up on me. But before hanging up, she said something along the lines of like, I have a good PPO insurance and I'm going to go and find myself a new neurologist. Now, I would think if I was my friend, like, to cancel that son of, like, that crazy girl, that crazy person's, I don't want to use this despective name like Karen because it's already been like overused, and I feel bad for the Karens who are actually nice because now they have to live with that. But for the sake of this video, this Karen, I would have assumed like just cancel her appointment, and my friend's like, no. I asked my manager what to do, and she was like, call the patient back up and see if she wants to cancel. So my friend, after she being screamed at for not being her fault for her following procedure, has to call back this woman. And the woman, and she's like, hey, I'm calling from blah, blah, blah neurologist's office. I wanted to verify if you still wanted to keep the appointment or if you wanted to cancel. And the woman's like, I'm on hold on the other line for someone else. Goodbye. And hangs up again. Like, what? What? Like, how rude can you be to do all of that? Like, how rude? Like, I don't understand. The person in the office is trying to help you. And by you being rude, they're less likely to help. You know what I mean? I try to be a super nice customer, but there's a limit. Like, there's a limit. Customer service sucks. This is a story, like a personal story. So I used to work with children. And this was before the pandemic and everything. And I worked at the sign and sign out desk for the kids. And this parent comes to one day super, super angrily because payment was due and she hadn't paid, so the child couldn't stay with us. And she hadn't come pick him up. So the child was sitting in the front, not doing any of the activities, not doing anything. And this woman comes up. I still remember the kid's name. I don't know the mom's name, but I still remember the kid's name because he is a sweetheart, or at least from the last time I saw him, he was a sweetheart. Hopefully still is a sweetheart. That's not the point here. The mom comes screaming. And I feel bad for the mom because she screams, I can't believe you let my little boy sit here all day. Keep in mind, it had maybe been 45 minutes since the day had started. Not even that long. And then the program is like 4 hours long, okay? So like maybe an hour, like a fourth of the program. Wow. I can't believe you let my little boy sit here all day long because I couldn't pay. And I'm just like, let me get my supervisor because this is not okay. And she's like, no. And starts screaming like crazy at me when I don't even take the freaking payments. I was just like, hey, dude, just sit here, hang tight. Again, just like my friend, I was just following instructions, following procedure. And of course, the one who's just following procedure gets yelled at. The mom's like, why would you let him sit out here all day? Blah, blah, blah. Apparently, she had like a death in a family thing I wasn't even aware of to feel pity for her. Then she started crying in front of me. And I'm just here like, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm trying to let your children leave with you. And come in and how to handle them. I don't know how to handle a crying adult, okay? Maybe I'm a crazy person for that. But a little kid, I'm like, oh my God, come here. Obviously, if I know them. Come here, sweetheart. You're going to be okay. What's wrong? Blah, blah, blah. An adult cries. I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Like, I don't know how to deal with crying or sad adults. But whatever. I really got off topic. This started being like it's a racist thing, and I'm now talking about customer service. Whatever. Honestly, this topic is a little bit more fun, especially after last week. A little lovey-dovey, a little rudeness doesn't hurt anybody. At least to vent it out, I guess. I don't know. Do you guys have any crazy customer service stories? Like, it's crazy. Dude, I once had to explain. Like, customer service is crazy. Like, I've explained some things I thought I would never had to explain. It's crazy. It's crazy. I after COVID happened, I had to get like a customer service job as well because, you know, with COVID it's a little bit hard to find anything, especially after graduating college or everything. I couldn't really find much. Now, this is the thing. Found a customer service, and this person, they were asking for information, like, hey, can you make an appointment for me to, I think it was to get tested for COVID or something, or to get tested for COVID at the parks. And I was like, sir, we don't test for COVID at this facility. We test for COVID at this facility, but we're not in charge of the park appointment. What do you mean? This man was like, what do you mean? You make He wasn't very fluent, so sorry about that. He's like, you make COVID test. You can make appointment COVID test park. And I'm like, sir, I'm sorry. We are not responsible. We're not affiliated with someone else. We don't make the appointments for the park. We make the appointments for our in-house testing, not for the park. And this man is like, that's not what I mean. You make appointment for park. And I'm like, no, sir, I don't make appointment for the park. I can give you the phone number to the place that you can make the appointment at the park. And this man, oh my God. Like, it's like saying, I'm going to go to Yard House, or I'm going to call up Yard House to have them make me a reservation for cheesecake. Like, no. No. There are two separate entities. It's, oh my God, something so silly as that. Like, we don't schedule for this person. You have to call them directly. What do you mean? Like, I've heard some stories. Oh my gosh. I once accidentally got down this like TikTok spree of like, what's one thing you thought you had to, like, you thought you would never have to explain to someone when you worked in customer service? And the things that they said, like the fact, like this story about like saying like, we don't schedule for someone else, it's like nothing in comparison to some other people. Like one of them was like, they were trying to get pregnant through their belly button. Like, how? Huh? You had to explain that. Like, dude, sometimes I wonder, like, common sense is not as common as you think. If I'm being honest. I don't know. This is insane. I'm gonna be honest. Whatever. So I guess we ended in a customer service note. But yeah, racism is bad. I did talk a little bit about that in my other video, so I didn't want to make this one all about that. So yeah, customer service stories and rude customers, and yeah, I guess that sums up the entire podcast for today. Customers. That's it. Customers. I'm gonna be honest. The day I stop working customer service is the day I'll be happy. Like, I wish I could find a job that pays me what I make with my full-time job right now. But doesn't require me to talk to people and go insane about explaining little things like appointments. I don't know. It's been a long, long, long week. Long day. I don't know if you're hearing it, it's maybe a long day for work. If you're hearing it later on the week, it may be a long week. But when I'm recording this, I've had a long day. I've had a lot of rude calls. And to be honest, I don't know anyone who works in customer service like that as much as I do. But I'm gonna be honest. It shouldn't affect us, at least in my case. It shouldn't affect me what customers do and customers say. But a lot of time it sucks. Like, I'm the one being yelled at. And my friend in the neurologist's office being yelled at for no goddamn reason. Like, I'm here to try to help you. And if you're gonna just be rude to me, I'm gonna block. And it sucks because I remember one time when I was just starting out the job in customer service, that I finished my job and I just cried. Like, I literally cried after work. I was working from home, so I hung up the phone and I was like, I started crying. I started bawling, and it was because I had such a bad day of customers, and people don't realize that what you say, even though it's not meant for them, hurts. Like, I know you were yelling about a COVID appointment, but you were yelling at me. I'm not a robot. I'm a person. I have feelings. I don't like being yelled at. And it sucks that some people don't see that, because I honestly wish they would. Having customer service, you need customer service for a lot of businesses to be able to grow. Their entire industry is based on customer service. But honestly, the customers treat the people who are there to help them like crap. The people who are going to work there feel like crap. The days that I have good days and the customers are happy, I end up in a happier mood. because I'm not being yelled at. I don't feel like I'm being diminished, like I did something wrong. Even though I didn't do anything wrong, and I literally cried that day because of the amount of complaints, the amount of screaming, and the amount of frustration people had that they put onto me. And I should be able to say, oh, it's 5 o'clock, gotta go, let's go, I'm done. Customers' opinions are out the window and an ear out the other. And at the beginning, that was really difficult. If I'm being honest now, you could tell me, who do you talk to 5 minutes ago? And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say, I have no idea. So I've learned to get a little bit of a tough shell, but I have no emotion anymore. You hear me on the phone, I'm like, thank you for calling, blah, 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 blah. How can I help you today? They tell me, okay, this time works, this day, yep, okay, you're all set, goodbye. Like, I have no emotion. I have no excitement. I have no sadness. I had a woman that'd be like, I am in so much pain. I need a doctor's note. I work at a doctor's office too, but like the customer aspect of it. And she was like, I need a doctor's note. I'm in so much pain. I've missed work because I'm walking like bottom bone and something apparently had disintegrated inside. I don't know. I don't have access to see the medical records. I'm going off of what she told me. And if I'm being honest, yeah, I felt bad for her that she was in so much pain. But I didn't show emotion. I was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, ma'am. Let me try to get that note for you. That was all I did. Like, I literally was like, oh my God. At the beginning, you would be like, oh my God, ma'am, I am so sorry. Let me try to get this note to you like ASAP. And now I'm just like, okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Let me get that note. Like, you see the difference? Like, the customers that made me, like, to the point to cry that time have made me lose my sense as a person. I sound like a robot when I'm talking to them on the phone. And to be honest, I feel like that may be better sometimes. So, hey, if you guys tell me your customer service stories, leave them in the comment below. Below? That's not the word. Below. Leave your customer, like your insane customer service stories below. Please and thank you. See if anyone else is as miserable as I am with some of these customer service days. And yeah, also, as always, you can also please comment down below what you want to hear next week. Till then, I'll see you next. Well, I'm gonna post on Monday, so I'll put it up and I'll see you guys next Monday. But you guys may see me later. So enjoy your day, week, night, whenever you're listening, with a meal, cooking. Just have a good one, okay? We'll see you next time. Bye.